Thomas! It's up for grabs now! Thomas!
Magic ball from Bergkamp to Patrick Vieira!
Oh, would you believe it? Oh, right, what a way to get it!
Fabulous solo goal by Thierry Henry.
Champions.
Who's doing this? Me or you?
So next time you'll be on time.
Oh, whatever. Oh, Arsenal Manic. I see that as well. Start without Lev. We'll come back later. Nice one. Arsenal 3, Man United 1. 3 goals from the likes of Tavares, Saka penalty. Who was the third? Oh, my God. A ridiculous goal from Xhaka. And in amongst all of that, there was a goal from... Who scored for them? It was Ronaldo, wasn't it? Terrible defending. Oi, far from a classic. Very, very nervy. Lots of mistakes. Our fullbacks were awful. Both of them. I'm going to tell you straight up right now. But we won and we're back in this. And suddenly things have just changed again. We can't predict. We don't know what Arsenal's going to turn up. I think the biggest change is Xhaka and Elneny in that midfield pivot, which makes you ask questions. Why wasn't this done with the previous 3 games that we had lost? Perhaps there's still question marks for Arteta in regards to that. But on top of that, Eddie Nketiah has made a difference with his energy levels up top. Missing some sitters still. Should have scored earlier on in the first half. But we're there, man. Another 3 points. Man United lose. They're out the title race. We've kicked them out the top 4 race. Don't even know why it's a title. And now we've got to kick Spurs out of the top 4 race. But look, we're back in it. And it was not a classic. Both played pretty poor in certain areas. Poor defending all round on both sides. But look, we're back in it. Shaheen, talk to me, bro.
Yeah, it's always nice to beat Man United. Always, regardless of the circumstances. The best part of the day for me was Fernandes missing a penalty because I hate Fernandes. I genuinely don't like him.
Anything good that could have happened today did.
Don't like him. It's like he drops around too much. He pretends he's being fouled too much. But another thing I've got to say, massive respect to Arsenal fans for clapping Ronaldo on 7th minute.
Yeah, huge.
That was really good. Well done for that. Great result. Performance was a bit nervy at times, especially at the beginning of second half. We looked nervous. The only thing that I would say, not negative, but concerning regarding the performance was Tavares. And what I mean by that is the amount of time he gave the ball away. What he seems to do, I don't know if you notice it, he seems to get the ball, he starts running, and he seems to want to take on 3 or 4 people and then loses the ball and goes back. And there was times where he got the ball, he started running up, and I just thought he could have played the ball a lot earlier. There was one time I was going and Nketiah was with him, but he didn't play, and then Nketiah stopped, and then he just played that to him. It was a really good, as I said, it was exactly what we needed. We needed to back up the Chelsea result. This was exactly what needed to happen, and it's you can say it's back on our hands now. This top 4 business, because
100% it is.
Yeah, we've got to now. We've got a couple of important fixtures coming up. West Ham away, right, and Tottenham away. Tottenham away being the most important one. But I'm not going to lie to you. When it was 2-1 Arsenal, I wanted the game to end there because I predicted 2-1 before the game. So if that
did anyone predict 3-1?
Arsenal,
did anyone predict 3-1?
No.
So
I said 2-1. You
Yeah.
said 3-0. Tom said 3-0 Arsenal, and Mo said 2-0.
So we're all just getting 1 point, basically.
You said 1-0 Arsenal. Tom said 3-0. I said 2-1. I think Mo said 2-0 or 2-1.
But
So,
we're
yeah,
all getting
but-
1 point.
Yeah, we all gain 1 point. So
Okay.
at the end of the day, very happy. It's always nice to beat Man United. Great. I was a little bit surprised on how poor Man United were. For a team that they needed to win to stay in the top 4. I thought they came and they didn't really turn up. Just think, I'm going to put the link in the comments soon, guys, for you guys to come on the show live and speak to me and Lev. Tell us your thoughts about the game and about the top 4 race and where we stand. But overall, I can't complain. And for this is the item collector. This is the item collector for everybody now. All right. Martin Odegaard had a good game. Well done.
I've been telling you that. Oi, you
No,
underestimate.
I'm saying
Let
for
me tell you
people who
something.
say I hate the guy and
Odegaard
all that.
is a
I thought
talented
when he's
footballer,
playing,
bro.
this is what I expected. This sort of performance I was expecting against Brighton at home, Palace. But I'm not going to moan about it too much. I'm happy that we won. As I said, even if there was nothing to gain or nothing to play for, it's always nice to beat Man United. And I love the fact that it was Fernandes who missed the penalty, and he was just, you know what, Lev, he should have got sent off for that tackle.
Yes,
and then
100%. I'm glad you said that. Yeah, because right, hold on a minute. He not only coming studs up on like over the top, but it was a good couple of. It was like a second or two late as well, and then El Neni got booked for something that was like unavoidable. He's cleared the ball. He's got to the ball first. His foot's in the air. It naturally needs to land onto the ground. Where else is his foot going to go? But no, it lands on the player's foot. So they book him. I just like there's still signs that the refs still wanted to screw us today. And with you know what, I will say this for once, Arsenal actually had some luck on their side because let's look through in the first half and. Talking about Odegaard, by the way, I've been telling you for the last 2 or 3 games. You need to watch him carefully. His timing of his passes are so intricate and so smart and disguised, and he's just a brilliant little footballer. And you mentioned those other results that he didn't turn up. The difference is in the last couple of games, he's had a more solid midfield. He's had Xhaka and El Neni. And listen, we both don't rate. We can improve on Xhaka and El Neni, especially El Neni, right? However. He does a job. He defends and he screens the back four. And I genuinely think if we had played him in Palace, Brighton game and the Southampton game, we would have at least got 6 points out of 3 of those games. Had we got 6 points out of those games, we'd be clear by now. But anyway, let's focus on the let's focus on the positives.
The best thing that can happen today is for Brentford to beat Tottenham or Tottenham get a draw.
It gives us a little bit more breathing space if Brentford.
Yeah, it gives us more breathing space. But nevertheless, you've got to praise the team obviously for beating Man United and getting a result because that's what they can do. And I'll tell you another thing, right? I'm really, really happy for Granit Xhaka.
Yeah.
Second half
strike.
He had a very good second half, right? And that it was a really good. He's got that in him. I don't know why he doesn't shoot from outside the box more often because he's got that in his locker. But I'm glad that after the interview he did and all the rest of it.
Who's this? Ingy Holman. 7 goals, 6 points in 2 matches at very difficult teams, but all you two are moaning as you. Well, firstly, that's really poor English. I'll just let you know that. Although, listen, it might not be your first language, so I don't want to diss you on it.
Never, man. Are you going on people again?
No, hold on. How are we being negative? We've highlighted some negatives, and if you can't highlight negatives from that game, you need to ask yourself some questions. Because let's really cut to the chase. Cedric was poor. He was poor all game. And so was Tavares, right? Let's be honest. And if anyone sits here saying that's not true, it's bullshit, right? They were both awful, which makes you think, had we got Kieran Tierney still fit, Tomiyasu, which is now coming back, and Partey, I will tell you now, I'd be extremely confident of getting to top 4, right?
Yeah, I don't know what that comment is about, man. I'll leave it. But listen, guys, I'll put the link on the chat again. I'm going to put it here again. So the link is on the chat. Click on it. Make sure you have a camera. Come on, join us.
Do a little skip first.
Yeah, we've got a couple of the usual people that we normally get on the channel.
No, we got Rich in the house.
Yeah, we've got Richard and Maximus. How are you guys? You good?
How comes Richard is all black? Like he's
I think Richard's camera is frozen.
My camera's frozen. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be back.
Oh, here we go.
Come on, Richard. Come on,
mate. Richard, I'll bring you back in. All right.
Get a grip, Rich.
Maximus, what's happening?
I'm pretty good, actually. Just heading out to the gym in a few minutes. But yeah,
I've already been, Maximus.
Are you happy with the Maximus? You happy with the result?
Oh, super happy with the result. Super happy.
Go on, Max.
Yeah, no, it was a good game. I think in the first half it was pretty exciting. The thing is, I was kind of concerned because they went through a period where I think they were dominating us. And had they scored that penalty, I think we could have been in deep trouble because they were obviously in the ascendancy. other than that, I think Tavares was pretty shocking. I was screaming for him to get off, but then I couldn't decide between him and Cedric, who was even more poor.
Yeah, they were both poor.
Having said that, I do believe Bruno Fernandes. I have no idea how VAR looked at that and then decided that was not a red card because one, it was late, it was a high challenge as well, and it was studs up. So each one of those are generally an indicator for a red card is one of the deciding factors. But they obviously overlooked that, and I was kind of that kind of pissed me off. But other than that, the team, he made some substitutions that I thought made sense. He kept Rob Holding in there, and he kind of solidified the defense. So there's nothing much you could really complain about Odegaard. I mean, I know you're not the biggest fan of him, but I do think he is one of the most talented players.
No, I agree with you. He is.
I gave him. Listen, you're right. I'm not his biggest fan, but I gave him his credit today.
I think if you look at his play, right, I think the problem with players with like Odegaard, and I said this like a couple months ago as well, I think you have to have players that are on the same page. I think Saka, him, and Smith Rowe are generally the better combination, because those are the type of players that are very intricate. They play really quick 1-2s, movement off the ball. If you play him with players who don't have that sort of that connection with him, obviously he's not going to flourish. But if you look at his chances created, I mean, he's up there with the people that we laud as like, oh, these guys are fantastic, the Kevin De Bruynes of the world. Like, the guy is creating a lot of chances for us in a team that's not that great. So
Maximus, in your defense, bro, just to add to that, it's already been confirmed that he's created the most chances in the Premier League.
He has.
So
because
imagine we're not scoring enough. That's
what I'm saying. He's a type of player where I think if you have a striker around him that's very intricate, that plays really good 1-2s, movement off the ball, the guy you will see the type of player that he really is, and his passing is amazing, and his vision as well. So I'm a big fan of his, obviously, as you can tell, but I like those kind of players. But I think overall the team, I mean, it wasn't a super good performance, but the 3 points is more than welcome. So I'm super stoked.
I want to give another shout out as well. I forgot to say this earlier, to Mohamed El Neni. He had a really good game as well, considering his fasting as well. So
he's made the difference since he's come back. He's made
the midfield looks better.
He's a complicated player though. Like, he's one of those guys. If you look at him, like, sometimes I look at him and I'm thinking like, you're just running around. And then in this game, for some reason, he was shimmying, trying to get past people. And I think when he does that, he's a better player because he opens up space. He's just a weird individual. But credit to him today.
But it's overall, I thought it was a really good game. Richard, how are you feeling? You good?
Yeah, not too bad at all.
What's your thoughts on the game?
Well, I mean, I thought we rode our luck a little bit at times, didn't we? Let's be honest. On another day, we could have conceded 4 or 5 goals, and we'd be looking at a totally different result. But we haven't had a lot of luck, have we, this season? In actual fact, in a lot of games, things haven't generally gone our way. VAR went our way today a couple of times, and I mean, we've got to be delighted with the win. I mean, I think we've had a good week, but ultimately, we've been fortunate. We played Chelsea at a good time just after the semi-final. They gifted us some goals. We took advantage. Great. Today, Man United come on bad form. They missed a lot of chances, hit the woodwork 3 times, and we took our chances and come away with a win. And we've got to be delighted with that. It doesn't change much for me long term. I'm still not totally convinced by this manager. I'm still not totally convinced by several of the players. But we can't argue with the fact we're top 4 now. We've had a great week. I mean, when was the last time we beat Chelsea and Man United back to back?
Yeah,
can't remember.
exactly.
Hey, Richard, had we taken any points from those 3 games that we lost, we'd be in a very strong position.
But this is the problem, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
This
crazy.
is the problem, isn't it? We've thrown away points in ridiculous games this season far too often, and then we'll raise our games against some of the bigger teams occasionally, pick up a result like we have today and we did in the week. And it's that inconsistency that's frustrating. And yes, we've got a young team, and that's one of the reasons. But ultimately, sometimes the substitutions that we make are laughable. You could read it before it happened. Rob Holding coming on once we got the first goal. I mean, so predictable, But ultimately it worked because he played well, Rob Holding. He defended brilliantly and helped to see the game out. But some things I'm not, looking long term, I'm not convinced this manager is going to take us any further than we currently are. I think this is the maximum we can get from this manager, top 4. Yes, get us back in the top 4, brilliant. Obviously, he deserves to keep his job.
But for today, you're happy, Richard?
I'm happy with the performance today. I mean, yeah, we were lucky at times. We could have lost that game quite easily.
But we could have scored more as well, Rich. I mean, Eddie should have scored. Eddie definitely should have scored.
14 shots at goal for each team today. Actually, that's it was an open game, probably too open in a lot of ways that either manager would have liked. But yeah, we rode our luck. We got the goals at good times, an early goal, and then the third goal sealed it, didn't it? With 20 minutes to play, we needed that cushion because we were under a bit of pressure, wasn't we? Second half, the penalty. A good save. Actually, Ramsdale made a couple of good saves today. We have to give him some credit.
Yeah, he did. He did
a couple of good saves. He looked a little bit shaky at times.
The goal against Ronaldo was shocking, though. Like, I think he came out and he
changed
could have gone to that easily.
It was a mix. I think it was a mix-up, though, because I agree with you, Maximus and Rich. He was coming, then he stopped,
Yeah.
But then the two defenders, both Gabriel and Tavares, had they just come together and blocked him off, he couldn't get through. But they let him walk through in between the two of them. So there is that.
Listen, I think, if anything, it shows to us that maybe one of the things they need to look at in the summer is possibly a left back as a backup for Tierney.
Well, again,
but that's for another day. I just want to make sure that everybody is involved in the conversation. Mohammed, how are you, my friend? You're good?
Hi, good evening, all. Good evening.
I think this is probably one of the very rare times that you and Maximus have nothing to disagree about.
Mo said this was coming. Mo wins, no problems. Go on, Mo. Tell him, bro.
What was your thoughts on the game?
Huge 3 points after a huge Chelsea win. For me, performance-wise, we were good. We were not fantastic, but in these important, huge matches, I think I prefer a win with a moderate performance rather than a 0 point with a great performance. For example, against Southampton, we played good. We were the better side. We were attacking. We were creating chances, but we lost. So today, most important thing, the win, huge win after Chelsea. Now we are again in a good position. Credit to Arteta and the players to return after 3 painful losses with a win at the bridge and with a win today. Today, they showed personality and courage. We must give the players and Arteta credit. And I think today, some good performance individual-wise, some worrying. I agree with Lev, Cedric, and Tavares defensively were worrying. Tavares going forward is good, but defensively is not assured. For me, the man of the match is Mohamed El-Neni. With no doubt of shadow of a doubt, El-Neni was fantastic.
Is that because he's Egyptian, Mo? Is that because he's Egyptian?
No. Today,
you're right.
El-Neni we all Arsenal fans have a go at El-Neni all the time. Last match at Chelsea, he was good. Today, he was fantastic. Positioning, he was assured in midfield. His passing, interceptions. He and Xhaka, the two of them were fantastic today. I agree with Richard. We were lucky with VAR for the first time. For the first time, really, not only this season, maybe last season also. So good that we were lucky today in some decisions, but huge 3 points. The crowd was fantastic, fantastic with the players.
Yeah, Mo,
yes.
I just want to bring everybody into the conversation. Yes. Albi Guna, how are you, man? You're good?
Good, guys. How are you? Everyone all
well? What's your thoughts on the
Albi?
Good 3 points.
Guna, yeah? Go on.
Alb.
You want to be called Alb? Yeah, Alb Guna. Yeah, you was right. Sorry, Shaheen.
Live way been negative for, man.
Sorry, bro, man. Sorry, man.
How you guys doing?
Go on, Alb. Carry on. What's your thoughts on the game?
Good 3 points. It's just sad to see two big giants so low on the table, you know. It was
we're higher than we've been in 3 years, Alb.
Yeah, I know, but we shouldn't be there. And you know, I'm happy that it's against United, that we beat United, but they shouldn't be there either. Let's be honest. You know, we're just massive clubs, and it's sad to see that. But anyway, yeah, not bad performance.
So you're happy with the result? Anything negative that you want to say today?
I think we were lucky as well. They should have had 2 penalties. If Bruno slotted that away, You know,
what you think the Elanga one was a penalty?
No,
not that. It's the handball.
What was it?
The
handball from Cedric?
Yeah, it was, man. That's
I don't know about that. That would have been a bit harsh.
Look,
that was.
Everyone was calling out 3 out of 3 penalties.
No, I'm not having it. It's harsh.
I said it was 2 out of the 3.
Me too.
Yeah. So, look, we got lucky, I think, a little bit as well, and United isn't United, so they're pretty shit as well. Let's be honest. It just shows we're a long way off Liverpool and City. You know, really shows.
Alp, I hear what you're saying, bro. I hear what you're saying. Sorry to interrupt, but like at the same time, we weren't expecting to be here, were we? Though?
Yeah.
Like,
I was after 250 million. I want.
Wait. No, when I say that, I mean after those 3 games back to back that we lost. I hold my hands up and said we're out of top 4.
I mean,
from that moment.
I think the concern is that we're going to undo all of this good work with teams like Leeds and the other couple of games, and then that's my concern. I think I look at those couple of games, West Ham and Leeds, and we might think, okay, let West Ham a draw. Even if we take a draw there, I'll be frank. I don't want to say I'll be happy, but it would be okay, fine. But Leeds, we have to be beating Leeds and have to be beating the teams that we're playing after that if we have any chance of getting into the top 4 after basically bottling it with those 3 teams that were pretty much gimme points, if you ask me. So that's my concern is this. So I'm with Richard when I say like long term, I don't really think this is sustainable if you want to move forward, and everybody knows that if you really think about it in the long term, and it's not sustainable to have these kind of results and performances and dips. I mean, certain teams have dips, but the top teams, when they do have dips, they still come away with a result, or they'll still have a somewhat decent performance. Is that we capitulate and we literally fall to pieces. And the one thing that I've noticed is that it's very difficult to pick this team up as well. So we go on a one game, a bad game, a second bad game, or whatever it is, and there's no points, or we lost. It's like we go on a run of games of just really poor performances and losing. So for me, I mean, nothing changes, but I just hope to see. I really do hope we get into the top 4, but it is what it is. And
guys,
I think,
I appreciate that, Max. I just want to bring everybody to conversation. Abdul, what was your thoughts on the game?
Hey guys, how's everyone? Hoping everyone's having a good weekend.
Cheer up, Abdul, man. We won, man. What's the matter with you guys?
Man, it's Ramadan. I'm fasting, and I woke up 7 in the morning for this game. So I am and
you're
tired.
grumpy.
I sleep in on weekends. I sleep in on weekends, But for this game, I woke up just I want to see. So I don't know why everyone was saying that we're gonna lose against Man United last week or the week before. After those 3 losses, like these guys are insanely bad. They've been having a bad run for a while now. I had no doubt in my mind that we would beat them. The only disappointment I had is that we could have probably won like 4-1, 5-1. Like they were like their defense was in shambles. I mean, so was ours, but theirs was even worse than ours. We could have probably like completely dominated this game, but I am extremely happy. The other thing I have is, why do Arsenal fans have this thing with Mohamed Elneny? They keep hating on him, and when I feel like he's a very solid player, he doesn't do anything fancy, but he's never a reason behind why we end up losing. If we end up losing, it's because the entire team played bad. It was never because he was the sole reason behind our loss. So he was always a solid player. I think he always keeps the team together. So I don't know why.
Yeah, but he's an average player. So if you want to propel and you want to move up the table, you can't have average players.
I'd rather have him play than an inexperienced
Abdul, I agree with you on this. The difference is, in those 3 games we lost, had he gone Elneny in the middle, I agree he's not the best. He is average, but we only needed someone to keep it solid in that midfield.
Exactly.
So
defensively, he's good. He's not an offensive player.
Yeah. And I'm not saying he's like, oh my god, like he's the next like best midfielder, but he gets the job done. And if like whenever in doubt and like we have like no one to put in the midfield, I just put him. Like I would put my trust in him because he gets the job done. So I don't know why fans have always been hating on him. I've always been.
I think that's unfair. No, I think the criticism is that when we lose a quality player from the first team and we have to substitute someone, and we would want somewhat of a quality substitute. And I'll be very quite frank. I think he's a solid player, but I don't think he's a quality that's required for us to move forward. That's exactly where I think the criticism comes from a lot of Arsenal players. Because if you look at all of our rivals on our teams, like even when they put a midfielder in there, he's a solid player, but they have quality that they can bring on. And I think the criticism with El Nene is that when we need him, when we need somebody to substitute for a Partey or a Xhaka, we want another quality midfielder in there. And I think that's the criticism. I'm not saying that he's no good or whatever. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that I think that's where the criticism comes with, and people think that people are hating on him.
But he's done the job against Chelsea, and today he's done the job.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's a solid player, but he's not the type of player that's going to take us forward if we need that, right? That's what I'm saying.
I think we need more the young players. We need more players like El Neni that can come in and do a job, experienced players, rather than filling our squad with Lokongas and Tavareses.
Yeah, I
more experienced players. They don't have to be necessarily the top quality
Exactly.
players. You just need the experience to come in, and they can do jobs like El Neni's done the last.
And Rich, that could be Arteta's inexperience. Again, one of the mistakes he's making on the job, because he had a team that he thought was perfect. We had it set. Few injuries. I think maybe it scrambled his head. He's made a mistake. It's cost us maybe 6 to 9 points, you could argue. But questions I want to throw into this chat as well then, while we're here. Okay, so we know the fullbacks have been dodgy. We got 3 points. We're in a very strong position. Spurs could go and lose today to Brentford. It's feasible. It could happen. Give us a bit more leeway. What would you guys do moving forward in regards to the fullback situation? Tomiyasu's back. So do you go back 3? And I mean, I think Cedric's got away with a few things today because Tavares maybe stole a bit of the limelight, but I think Cedric was worse or just as bad.
Horrible,
He was terrible. So what do we do? Do we now Tomiyasu's back? Do we go to a back 3 with wing backs, or do we replace Tavares with someone, or do we go Tomiyasu right back and just stick with Tavares on the left? What would you guys do?
My issue here is that the next game we have, isn't it like West Ham?
Yep. Yes. West Ham away.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd start Tomiyasu right off the bat. I'd probably give him a little bit more time. Maybe have him play for like one half instead of the full game. Just because
we need him back for Spurs, though, in my opinion.
For sure. Which is why I'm saying have him play one half against West Ham, and then we'll see how he does, and then we can have him play a full game against the Spurs. That's where I am.
We can't put a team to suit certain players' fitness. We've got to pick a team to win every single game. We can't say, well, he'll play half a game and someone else plays half a game. It's not Sunday League. This is the Premier League. We're going for the top 4. We've got to play we've got to start every game with a team that we think can win that game. Tomiyasu is our best right back. He's got to play if he's fit. He's clearly fit.
But Richard, bear in mind that he's not ready to play 90 minutes. He was 3 months out. Yeah. So now he's not ready to play 90 minutes. Now,
that's what I'm saying. If he has to go off after 75 minutes because he's feeling it, take him off.
Maybe after 2 matches, when he take some parts today 5 minutes, maybe next match 20 minutes or 30. After that, he will play it.
Yeah.
But I don't think a back 3 will be smart moving forward. It's a terrible decision, actually, would be to play a back 3 moving forward, because these games we need to pick up points. We need to create chances. We're actually going to have to be on the front foot if we want to, especially, well, it really depends on the result. If Spurs win today, then we're under pressure. So I think going to a back 3 will kind of limit our chances. We were kind of lucky against Chelsea in the fact that we were kind of gifted a few goals. But let's be real, did we really create any clear-cut chances?
Arteta won't change the system. Arteta won't change his system. He won't.
We could be going to White Hart Lane with a buffer where even a draw's okay. You got to remember that, guys, as well.
I think if we have a buffer going into the North London derby, I think it would be a smart idea to play a back 3 against Kane and Son. But I think for the next 2 games, I think we actually have to get those points. We have to get the 6 points from those two games against Leeds and West Ham. So I don't think a back 3 would be a plausible solution for that. I don't think we'll create enough chances. We've seen this year already when we have played the back 3 that we haven't really created too many chances. And I'll be fair, like I was getting into it in the chat with a few guys, because I was saying that I do like Tomiyasu, don't get me wrong, but my thing is I've noticed that Saka suffers a lot when he plays with Tomiyasu because Tomiyasu doesn't overlap as much as Cedric. So he doesn't open up space for him to operate in. And that's just my concern. I've seen that earlier in the season. If you look back at a lot of our games, when Saka had that drought is when he was playing with Tomiyasu. Yeah, we're solidified defensively.
But Tomiyasu was more solid than Cedric and very good in the air.
We have to play on the front foot now.
This is the time of... When obviously Tomiyasu's been out, Saka scored loads of goals. When he played with Tomiyasu, he hardly scored. You're right.
I'm telling you. Yeah, it's just if you just have to analyze the games. The thing is, that's what I'm saying. I think we have to play on the front foot right now. We just have to. We have to get these.
Maximus, can I just stop you for 1 second, right?
Sorry,
no, hold on. Hold on. There's quite a few people waiting on the background, so I just want to say to Albi, Gune, and Abdul, you want to say your last word, and then I need to replace you guys with some people who are waiting because we need to get everybody involved.
No problem. All I just want to say is Arteta out. That's it.
Sorry?
We can't be saying that after we've just beaten Man United.
No, it's all right, man. That's Lev, that's his opinion. He wants Arteta out.
No.
Listen, thanks for coming on.
All our listeners.
Thanks for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
Arteta out. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Have a good one, man. I'm with you on that.
Abdul, what about you?
Hello, man. I don't know. Losing those 3 games are fine as long as we beat Chelsea and Man United. They're the most 2 teams that I despise in the Premier League. I hate them with passion. I completely hate both teams. The fact that we beat them, just the 2 games in a row has just made my weekend. I am so happy. I'm so excited. I'm not still Arteta in, but I'm not Arteta out yet. I do feel like
you're shaking it all about 4, Abdul, in and out.
I'll tell you my final decision on this. If we do get top 4, okay, his biggest test is next year, which is when he'll have cup games, league games, and Champion League games. When we see how he manages all 3 games, that's when we'll know if this guy is the guy for us or not.
But we've seen that this season. So what do you mean?
Concerning
this season,
out of all those cups.
This season we've only had the cup games, and we've only had cup games, and we've only had the Premier League games.
So Arsenal in the top 10 teams have played the least matches in terms of overall competitions compared to everybody around us. So I'm not sure why you need evidence next season to prove that. Let's see how he manages that. He had 2 injuries. We lost 9 points. What are you on about?
Okay, you're basically saying what I'm saying. Okay, if he gets top 4 with the amount of games that we played this year, next year is his big test. Is if we have Champion League games, cup games, and league games, then we can see if he can actually manage that many games or not. Because if he can't, then he's not the manager for long term.
So I see what you're saying. I think basically you're saying
we can get in though. Yeah, don't forget, boys.
If he gets us top 4 this year, he should be rewarded for an extra season next year. That doesn't mean that I am totally. I agree with everything that he does.
I mean, I'm in the same boat. I think if he gets the top 4,
why are we all as Arsenal fans so focused on the manager? The manager's irrelevant. If we're winning games, we're winning games. If we're losing games, we're losing games.
That's the thing.
I will say one. I will say one final thing. So those 3 losses, okay, clearly he learned from them and adjusted for Chelsea.
Did he really? Come on. Did he really?
No, hold on, Maximus.
Adjusted by putting Ineni in. He adjusted by putting
I just need to
Ineni in. So, anyways, that's
listen, Abdul. Hold on. Abdul, thank you very much for coming on, man. Much appreciated.
Yeah.
Look after yourself, and hopefully we'll see you
guys.
See you there, Abdul. Shaheen.
Mohammed, what did you want to say?
Viagra finger. So you got.
I want to answer Liv's questions about the back 3. For me, playing back 3 is in certain moments, certain time when we play away from home against a strong team than you, Chelsea, Liverpool, City. Playing back 3 is logic, and maybe like today when he put Holding in the last 15 minutes to see out the result and to assure the win. For me, this is the cases that we should play back 3, and I think Arteta thinks like this. But for all the games, I think we will continue with the back 4.
There's some more guys in the house. Nice one, Mo. And look, Richard Norman, Jai's here. Richard Norman and myself, we could do with finding out where Rob Holding bought his hair, no? But anyway, go ahead. Who wants to go first? You pick Shaheen.
I don't know, man. It's your show.
Norman, go for it, bro. How you feeling about it today? You smiling, man?
Yeah, man, I'm feeling great. It's great to be here. Thank you for having me. Please hit the likes, guys, if you hate Manchester United.
Nice one. Hit the likes if you hate Man United. You've heard him. Norman doing a bit of advertising for us.
Listen, I'm not too sure why are we firing Arteta today. Again, I think he's doing all right. I heard you guys saying that he took us as far as he can. How about giving him a striker and see what his team can do with a striker? Because we are playing all season without a striker, including Aubameyang.
That was whose decision again? Sorry, who made that decision to not have a striker? And after spending 250 million,
Arteta made the decision in January. He made the decision.
Yeah, exactly. After spending 250 million pounds.
Exactly.
Sorry, I just had to add that in. Apologies, I just had to add that.
I know. Bite his lips until he's finished. Norman, go ahead.
Listen, since Arteta is here, all we are doing is cutting losses. All we are doing is kicking out players who has proven they are not good enough, including Aubameyang, including Mustafi, and the rest, Kolasinac and these kind of guys. We are getting rid of all of them, and we are, tightening the belt. We are saving money as wherever we can.
Yeah, but the money doesn't specifically. Like, I could care less about the finances, to be quite fair. I support the football team. You got rid of
Mustafi. Wait, let him finish. Let him finish. Everyone let him finish. Go ahead, Matt. Norman.
So we are saving money because the Cronkies don't give us. I'm actually baffled that all these talks about Arteta, nobody is mentioning the Cronkies, that we are not spending as much as we should.
He spent 250 million this time.
Yeah, Cronkies are here for 20 years.
Yeah, they spent more money than Roman Abramovich in the last 10 years. Absolute nonsense. They spend money. It's how we spend the money. Arsenal has spent more money than Chelsea. Than Chelsea in the last 10 years. What are we on about here?
No, I completely agree with.
The Cronkies own the football team, and that's fantastic, right? They gave us 250 million. I don't agree with them as owners. Don't get me wrong, but I think people love to aim the blame at the owners. They're managing a company. They're obviously in it for profits. Regardless how we feel, they don't have to have any sort of empathetic connection with the football club. This is a business for them. Let's stop.
And this is why Chelsea is successful and Arsenal isn't.
Sorry, which club is successful? Sorry,
Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea is successful because they have a model that works.
The
model is I'm going to bring people in that win regardless of how fans feel. They might feel that Di Matteo, who actually won a Champions League, he won, we should keep him on.
It's not about the manager. They brought world-class players. Chelsea always brought world-class players.
They do.
Because this is the one. Because
this is the one Chelsea. How are we outspending Chelsea and they're getting world-class players and we're getting Tavares and Tomiyasus? Come on.
Well,
I don't think.
Let Jai say something. Let Jai say something. He's been sitting there casually in his bed, like yeah. Let Jai do it. He's been doing his R&B pose in his bedroom, so let him talk, innit? Go on, Jai.
No, but I'm first of all, nice to see you guys after a very long time. Bro. It's been quite a long time. Been busy with uni, so haven't been very been able to watch that many games. But yeah. I thought today's game was a good game, but I think that it's just like Arsenal to lose to 3 mid-table teams and then beat 2 of the 6 top 6 sides. 2 of the top 6 sides, basically Man U and Chelsea. But I just think that now that he's got the momentum, he needs to. I always believe don't try and fix something that isn't broken. So I think that in the next game, he should just go with the same lineup. And maybe he can bring Tomiyasu back to Cedric. I thought Cedric was horrific today. I thought Tavares was actually better than Cedric. I thought Tavares got back to his runner a couple of times, And
at least he scored.
Yeah,
as well.
And he scored. Yeah, people forget the fact that he scored. But also, other than the fact that he scored, he also got back to his runner a couple of times. I agree. His defending is shaky. But he has gotten back to his runner a couple of times. And I think Cedric was woeful. I think that their winger, I think was Elanga, was getting a lot of joy down his side. So I think
you're right. We didn't have the best of the game.
Hold on, Lev. We've got quite a few people in the background that
substitutions.
I'm gonna jump off.
You're gonna jump off. So we're gonna have your last say, Maximus.
I'm gonna go watch the F1 sprint race. But no, I was just to Norman's point. Like I get it. look, we have this obsession as Arsenal fans. I keep saying this. We have this obsession and this compulsion to gravitate towards, like, 20 years ago, it's like we're infatuated with managers, and I want to have this fairy tale love ending. It's not going to be a fairy tale love ending with Mikel Arteta. And just for comparison's sake, Chelsea managers have come there, won Champions Leagues, they've won league titles. Roman Abramovich has decided their fans. Actually, let's remove Roman Abramovich from the equation. Chelsea fans will say to you, look, Tuchel's not doing the job. I don't think he's fit for the Premier League. And this is a guy who won the Champions League, has been in 6 finals, by the way. They're like, I don't know. They'll question him. While our fans,
because they're spoiled, mate. Like,
who cares? No, it's a winning mentality.
They had an oligarch.
If you work in a corporate environment, there's people who have winning mentalities, and that's usually driven from the top to the bottom. So Chelsea fans, it's not spoiled. They have a winning mentality. They believe in win at all costs, and we're not assuming that mentality. We're infatuated with. I want to see where Mikel takes us.
If you had Chelsea fans from 20 years plus earlier, there was no winning mentality.
Well, of course not. Well, of course, we get that. But we're talking about the present. And the present is, in the last 20 odd years, 17 years, we haven't won the Premier League. And Arsenal fans are still obsessing over managers. And in this case, a manager who is a complete novice, who is an assistant at Manchester City, and we're obsessing over this guy. He was a bang average footballer that we brought in to replace Cesc Fabregas. And we're obsessing over the guy. Like, come on!
I swear we wanted him. Anyway,
come on! But I'm just saying, like, these conversations around the owners and the it's ridiculous. Like, we've spent 250 million. Fans are going to want us to spend another 250 million in the summer, another 250 in the summer, and we're going to get nowhere again. And the excuses are going to pile on.
Substitution.
Anyway, guys, have a good one. I'm off.
Maximus. Take care.
Before Maximus, that was a very long last final.
Sorry, man. I just had to get that in
but
there.
I just want to ask you a quick thing, just a yes or no, right? Are we going to finish in top 4?
No.
Can I ask something from Max as well? Max, if you could choose between Arteta out or Kroenke out, which one?
Arteta.
All right.
There you go.
That's fine.
No, the reason I'm asking that, I get where you're asking the question, but what is Kroenke doing?
Because I asked no question almost.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I would 100% take
Maximus out. Listen, we need to move people on. Thanks for coming on, man. It's always nice.
Respect later.
Take care. Who else has been here for a while now? Mo, do you want to have your final say as well?
Yes. First of all, I'm happy talking with you all, guys. Second, of course, very happy for the win. I hope that we'll continue focusing, fighting till the end. West Ham match, very difficult match away. Must be prepared well. Show courage and personality like today, unlike against Chelsea. And for me, I pity some fans. They have hatred or agenda against one person or another. We all love Arsenal to succeed. Last point. With any manager, with any players. For me, I love all Arsenal players, encourage them. Any manager that take care will support him. So big up Arsenal, big up Mo, Shaheen, all.
Thank
you. We love you too, Mo, man. We love you too, Mo.
See you soon. With this encouraging word, Norman, with this encouraging words, bye-bye.
Hopefully. Take care, man. We'll see you soon, yeah?
Bye, bro.
Jai, can you say your final words as well? So we'll move on, we'll bring some people on.
Sure. So another thing I would like to say is that West Ham have Europe to worry about. So for the next game, I feel like they might go a little weak against us. And we could use that to rest a few players. Not rest, I would not say rest, but I would say like rotate a little bit, maybe bring like maybe Pepe in. Because Pepe against Sofal, I think would be a good combination. Maybe we could bring in someone like a Lacazette to just get his confidence back up. Because if Nketiah stops firing, the fans will immediately be back on his back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, I don't think we should make anything apart from the fullbacks. Personally, but
sorry,
I don't think we should make any changes apart from the fullbacks. I said the fullbacks is where the worry is for me. I think the centre midfield, we've sorted that for now. We're more solid. We've Elneny in there.
Yeah.
I don't think we should take Nketiah out right now. I don't think we should take a Smith Rowe out or or a Saka. I mean, Saka could be injured. We've got Martinelli. Pepe, I don't know. It's a bit, he's out of nowhere. Pepe,
no, I just think Lev. See, my point is that if a player goes off form, like let's say, if Emil Smith Rowe or Saka, anything can happen, right? I just feel like the backup should be ready. The backup should be ready, and the backup should have his confidence. Should have his confidence as well. And I just think that because West Ham are going to rest a few players, even we might be able to afford to do that. And if there's any problem at halftime, if supposing Pepe isn't playing well, we can bring on Smith Rowe or whoever we.
Okay.
Whoever
well, listen, Jai, thank you very much for coming on, man. Giving us your thoughts. Good luck with your studies. Take care.
What are you studying, Jai?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
What are you studying?
Man, let the guy go. We're talking about Arsenal here, man. There's people waiting to come on. All right, Jai, thanks for coming on, man. Take care, yeah?
Good luck with your business management, Jai. Bye.
Right. Norman, do you want to give us your final thoughts as well? Because there's quite a few people in the background I want to bring in.
Yeah, sure. I just want to say at the beginning of the season, we all said that our team is probably going to finish at 6th. Now Arteta is fighting for the 4th spot. It reminds me of a joke. If you would listen to most of the shows, it would remind me of a joke. That old joke that you shouldn't give 110% at work because your boss will see it, and that's going to be the new normal. That's going to be the new requirement. That's how Arteta must be feeling if he's listening to these fans.
I hope your boss ain't watching, Norman, if you're giving that advice out.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Well, thank you very much, Norman, for coming on, man. It's always
nice to have you. Good to be here.
Don't work too hard, Norman.
Take care.
Right, let's bring some people on. We've
got here we go.
Biggest fan in the house.
Brandon's back with another hairdo.
True Gunner TV Richard. Brandon is the biggest Arteta fan out here. If you say something bad about Arteta, he will lose it.
Right. And hello to Nizam and hello to Ken.
Yes.
Hello.
Where do we start? Left, do you wanna...
Brandon, you go first, bro. Because Nizam, you go first, bro. Because obviously, Brandon, I know you're not the biggest fan of Arteta, and although we won today, you could argue there were some poor performances. But look, on a more positive note, we're still in the hunt here, man. So how are you feeling right now? Because I know, as I said, you're not an Arteta fan.
Well, the easiest way to put it is I'm happy with the result, because at this stage of the season, that's what it's all about, getting the results. But I'm not happy with the performance. And any Arsenal fan that sits there and says they are is a liar. I mean, I look at it like this, right? We're 2-0 up. We're comfortably cruising. And then once again, defensive mistakes allows Manchester United back in the game.
Yeah.
And if we're being real here, come on, let's be real, right? The amount of loads of different words that people are using to describe Manchester United, they're in disarray. They've got players that want to leave. They've got players that are down in tools under this manager. And we look at that and think, well, there was one Bruno Fernandes penalty away from taking points off us today. So are we really that good? Do you know what I mean? And
no, we weren't that good. No.
Not only that, right? I look at this as well. The recruitment policy, and that comes under Arteta and Edu and everybody else at this football club, needs drastic improvement. Because, again, I was looking at that team today. Now, apart from Martin Odegaard, our front four are players that Mikel Arteta has inherited. Whether he's improved them or not is by the by. But he's inherited them players. Bukayo Saka, Emil Smith Rowe, and Eddie Nketiah, right? The defence is where Arteta and Edu has spent the most amount of money since they've been at this football club. That whole back line is an Arteta, Edu, Vinay back line. It has conceded more goals this season than what it did last season. It was pathetic at times again today. Like I said, we rode our luck massively, and a few things could have changed the game completely. And then all of a sudden, fans' opinions are completely different, because rather than us sitting here saying, yeah, we're in the fight for the top four, we'll be sitting here saying, well, we've just lost to arguably the worst Manchester United team we've ever seen in years. So it's fine margins in the game. But the one thing that stand out most for me today is our past two games against Chelsea and against Manchester United. We could all sit here and argue that Mohamed El Neni, who was signed under Arsene Wenger for £7 million, what, 7 years ago, has been our best player on the pitch for both of them games. Now, what does that say about the rest of our players? Yes, they're young, but are they really that great? Come on.
No, Brandon, I know we got issues, strength in depth, and I agree with you. I mean, when you talk about the recruitment policy, we're talking about maybe looking for another fullback now, a left back. Well, why get Tavares in the first back? I personally don't think he's that bad. I just think he needs some time. But still, if you don't think he's ready, why get him as a backup? Same with Cedric. Why get him as a backup if he's not good enough? And on top of that, midfield, we knew. Yeah, and we knew that midfield was going to be light. The minute we've lost Partey, we're light, and we got. But then you can also ask the question: why didn't he then revert back to what he knew from before? A tried and tested partnership of Xhaka and El Neni, so we've thrown some points away before he did that. But look, at the same time, we've got to accept that, you know, one of the marks of a team is, look, you play bad and you still win. And that's usually something we would associate with the likes of Man United and those sort of teams. So that's where the positive is. But I do agree with you. And the one concern for me is every time we score a goal and get a sort of bit of advantage in the game, we concede. The two Chelsea, every time we scored, we conceded two straight back to back every time. So we scored today our second goal. We don't shore it up, and it was poor defending. Let's not beat around the bush. Both Ramsdale could have come out for that cross, should have come out, didn't. Then he stopped, and then those two allowed Ronaldo to just waltz in and score. It was poor defending, but we have got the 3 points, and we've got to get behind them. We've got to get behind them.
I agree with you. The one thing that none of us can sit here and say is that the team is not together. The team is together. That's clear to see. But if we're going to be playing Champions League football next season, which I think we've got a very good chance of getting in that top four now, you know, I think although our record's not that great against Spurs away, I do think with the way that we are playing at the moment, we do have a chance of beating them at their ground and getting that top four spot. But the thing that I'm looking at most is look at the players that we brought in. Have they really improved us that much? No, they haven't. And if we're going to go into a Champions League with players like, do you know what I mean? The recruitment policy.
Hold on. Tomiyasu and Partey have improved us. Surely you can't. Gabriel's improved us.
Yeah.
White. You can argue White's improved us. No. We're not that bad.
Ben White, no. Team. Ben White for the price. Listen, for the price we paid for Ben White, we could have got a better player than him. I'm telling you that.
We've already got a better player. Saliba is out on loan. Gabriel as well. You know, in recent weeks, he's not looked that great. But what I'm trying to get at is if we're going to be going into the Champions League next season, our recruitment needs to be miles better than this, because otherwise we're going to end up going out the group stages. We can't. I mean, we struggled today. It looks great because it's a 3-1 result. But we struggled today to beat a Manchester United team that's in disarray. Complete disarray. Players that have dropped down tools, players that are looking to leave, players that can't be asked anymore because they've got nothing to fight for this season. We did beat them though. Let's get Nizam's. Get Nizam.
Yeah, and I'm happy that we did beat them, mate.
The process that we've got isn't about winning trophies, isn't about competing at the top level. It clearly isn't from the club. This isn't Arteta, just Arteta. The club's whole outlook isn't to make us competitive, to make us be able to compete with Man City and Liverpool and compete in the Champions League. All it's about is just saving money by getting rid of players on big wages, buying young players who don't need as much of a bigger contract because they're young players, right? That's the first thing about it, is it's saving money. Secondly, it's just biding time, almost wasting time for me. You know, if we were serious, when we got rid of Emery, you know, I thought Emery was a decent appointment at the time, a successful manager in Europe, could have taken us forward. It didn't work, right? If we were serious at that point, we'd have got in an experienced manager, someone like a Mancini or even Ancelotti at the time was available. You know, Tuchel was available. You know, if we were a serious club who the process was about turning us into a successful team, that's what we would have done. But we didn't. All we wanted to do was save money. And what's going to happen is now that if we get in the Champions League, right, we're not in the Champions League to compete in the Champions League. We're in the Champions League to get the money that brings us, right? And that's all it's about. It's not about making us competitive. There's no way we.
Rich, we get access to better signings though if we go in Champions League, no?
Oh, yeah, no, we may well get access to better signings.
Guys, hold on, guys. Rich, hold your thoughts. Let's just get Nizam's point of view in, and Brandon, hang about because I want to speak to you about something. Nizam, what's your thoughts on the game today?
Hi guys. I haven't watched much of the game, but I was listening to it because I've been busy a bit, so streaming it through my phone. But at times when I did watch it, at least Arsenal controlled the first half. Look, the first half, or at least the first 20 to 30 minutes, it was all Arsenal. After that, United came into the game. We had chances towards the end of the second half as well. Towards the end of the first half, we didn't take it. Second half, United came in. They had opportunities. They didn't take it. We came in. We scored. They had a penalty. They didn't get the red card. The game had a lot of talking points. VAR had a lot of time wasting to see where they could give United also an advantage, especially with a goal. Unfortunately, it didn't go their way. It was ours. Arsenal had a blip since international break, losing to Crystal Palace, which were the better team. They tried to make things right. Obviously, we had injuries and things. We tried to make things right against Brighton. Arteta got it way wrong. He could have played El Neni in that game, because if anybody knows Brighton for the whole season, Spurs lost to them last week because of their midfield. Arteta should have known why play Lokonga there, play Xhaka left back. Brighton's known for their midfield play. They have good midfielders and they will play five across the midfield.
I understand, Nizam. I understand what you're saying, but let's talk about today's game. What was your thoughts on today's game? Are you happy that we won? What do you think was the weak points?
Look, end of the day, we can talk about today's game because I've been listening to everybody rant on here about Arteta's this, Arsenal's this. They're not happy with the win. End of the day, what are we here for? We're here for the win. We had a blip. Arteta got it right in the last two games against Chelsea, against United. United came into the game. United is poor, but we wanted the win regardless. United never looked like they were in control of the game at all. Against Chelsea, the same. Arsenal was all the time scoring the first goal, or at least leading, so we were never behind. So people need to stop complaining and look at it. Arsenal is... We're looking for consistency. We're looking for wins. We're looking for Arsenal to be the best team in a 2-year process since Arteta's come in. We need to understand that, look, end of the day, it is a process. It's Mikel Arteta's first top job ever in football. With a team that he has, especially against Chelsea, people are complaining, yeah, Chelsea have reserves. They won the Champions League. They got a double-size squad compared to Arsenal. Arsenal could play the best team that they had. They won the game. We could play the best team we had today.
Hold on. I think Brandon is disagreeing with quite a lot of what you're saying, man. Brandon,
this fan base. Look at the bigger picture. 18 years ago, we smashed down a stadium to compete with Europe's elite. Yeah, not to sit here with a youth project, another process, another load of bollocks that takes us absolutely nowhere. Nowhere. Does anybody honestly think that getting in the top 4 and getting Champions League football is going to take this football club forward?
It's not going to take us forward. At least we're making money to move forward. We're making money to move forward 2 years ago. 2 years forward.
Right, okay. So let's just tell me, hang on, let's just tell me that we get Champions League football, we attract better players. So Arsenal didn't buy Thomas Partey without Champions League football. We didn't buy
I didn't say you couldn't get
without
players.
Champions League football. It's a load of cobblers, mate. Yeah?
It's not, wait, Brandon, I don't think it's a load of cobblers. And I'll tell you why. If you're a top player, right, and you're a top striker, are you going to go somewhere where you can play in the Champions League, or are you going to go to someone who's 6 or 7? I'm not saying it's not possible. It is possible, but the very best players are in the Champions League. That's not undeniable, is it?
No, of course, I don't disagree with you. But are the best players, going to go to a team that's in the Champions League, or a team that have that winning mentality of wanting to win stuff, man. Come on, like
I know, bro. I agree with you.
Look at this way, yeah. Hang on, look at it this way, right? Erling Haaland. Let's just say Erling Haaland, for example, right?
Yeah.
He's the best young striker in world football right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
If Arsenal qualify for the Champions League, and let's just say Arsenal and Manchester United qualified for the Champions League, and we both went in for him alongside, let's just say, a Chelsea. Yeah. Out of them 3 teams, which one is he picking? Yeah, because he's not picking Arsenal. He's not picking Manchester United because we don't have that winning mentality, and we're not consistently in these.
We also aren't willing to pay 500 grand a week for somebody when you've got an oil baron who's got an endless supply of money, willing to spend that. Which, like, I 100% agree with you. I would love us to go for players like Haaland, and I think with having Odegaard there, you probably got a good chance if you've got the money to come up with, but. 500 grand a week is anyone worth 500
but my point being is
how you guys know he wants 500 a week? You know that for a fact.
I'm not talking about the money side. I'm not talking about the money side of things. We know Arsenal,
as a player, you mean?
We know Arsenal can't afford Erling Haaland. As a player, with the winning mentality that you have, out of the 3 clubs, which club are you picking? You're going to go to the one that wins, aren't you? You're not going to go to the one that's happy with top 4 and happy to just sit there and take the payday. Do you know what I mean?
Ken wants to say something. Let Ken say something. He's been waiting patiently.
He's going to City. Like his dad, he's going to City, boys. It's irrelevant.
It was a hypothetical question. We knew he wasn't coming, Ken. But what did you think of today's game?
Listen, Brandon just sums it up, man. The whole fucking thing is a shambles. We played all right, but come on, let's be honest. United, if they took their chances today, they would beat us, man.
Yeah, but then if we took our chances, we could have beaten them more.
What chances? What chances did they have?
Eddie Nketiah missed a clean. He was put through, clean by Odegaard and missed. Yeah, he hit the goalie. So he should have scored that, for example.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, all right. So don't ask me again then, Ken. Yeah? All right. Let's move on. What did you think of the game? Look, we won today, guys. I know we're not perfect. We're not perfect. But look, I'll ask you this, Ken. If we had Tomiyasu at right back, who wasn't injured for the last 3 months, if we had Kieran Tierney till the end of the season, and if we had Partey till the end of the season, do you think we would make top 4?
I don't know, man. I really don't know.
Can I answer that one?
Saka today was brilliant. You know, he was man of the match for me, and then Lenny as well. He was absolutely brilliant.
Saka was man of the match for you.
Can you not agree?
Can I answer that one, Lev?
Go on, Brandon.
Yes, the answer is yes. We would make top 4 if we had a fit Kieran Tierney, Thomas Partey, and Tomiyasu. But this is where you take a look at the manager now. It's up to the manager to get the best out of the players that you have. Now, for 3 games straight, Mikel Arteta could not find a solution to the way that we can play
without those guys. Yeah. I agree with you on that. Yes.
We found that solution against Chelsea. But that solution also included a player that's been here for years that was signed under Arsene Wenger for 7 million quid. And he's been arguably our best player for the past 2 games. But then Arsenal fans all sit here and hype up all this youth project and, we've got some great youth players and this, that, and the other.
We have, though, Brandon. We've got some great youth players. Listen,
are they that great?
You don't win. No, they are. They are. Come on. You cannot say Saka is not great. You cannot say Smith Rowe for his age is not great. You cannot say Martinelli is not great.
Let's get it right. Smith Rowe was shit today. He was absolutely unluminous.
Let me tell you this. Smith Rowe's going to end up better than all of those guys, in my opinion. But we need experience. We should have got Bruno Guimaraes in the January window in case Partey got injured.
Lev, you're right. All them youngsters, that you've just named there are good players, but they're also players that Mikel Arteta has inherited.
Yeah, I agree.
From either the academy or from Unai Emery.
And we shouldn't be relying on young kids either.
But my point being,
Arteta is the modern day Don Howe, right? Don Howe had a lot of young players like Tony Adams, Martin Keown, all them players he brought into the team. He wasn't good enough to take the club forward because he was a coach. Arteta's a coach. He's got these great young players. We need a manager to come in, like we did with George Graham, who can build the team around them. Arteta can't do that. He's had
Richard, can I ask you something?
He's not bought one striker. He can't build a team. He's been fortunate. He's got some great young players at the club.
And we're relying on them too much.
Rob Holding's another player, an Arsene Wenger signing. Been brilliant when he's had to play, right? El Neni, Arsene Wenger signing. They're two brilliant players that can come and do it. Not brilliant players, but they can do a brilliant job when they come in, right? They never let us down.
I just want to ask Richard.
Half of our set of signings, he doesn't even pick them now. Look at Pablo Mari. What's happened to him? He bought him, didn't he? Renarson, he bought him. Where's he gone?
Cedric is a Southampton reject, man. That's all there is. Richard, I want to ask you something.
Oh my God, he's got his mic out now as well. He's giving
Richard, 1 2 1 2. Richard,
all
1
the
2.
ones, 11.
Yeah,
He's going to do the bingo.
No, I want to ask. I want to 88. No, I'm joking. Listen, I want to ask Richard a question and all the guys on the chat as well and on the panel, right? If you didn't know, right, and you couldn't see an armband, right, who would you think is the Arsenal captain today?
Granit Xhaka, always. Granit Xhaka's always the captain every time he plays on that pitch.
Thank you, Richard.
I think everyone's underestimating Odegaard's performance.
Listen, Granit Xhaka have a great goal, boys, but come on, man.
Listen, Ken, just answer the question.
He's the best player. You don't have to be the best player to be the captain. You've got to be the leader of the team.
Hold on, Richard. Hold on. I want to see the logic behind this. Ken, if you didn't know, you couldn't see an armband, who would you say is the Arsenal captain today?
Yeah, today, fair enough.
You were just knocking Granit Xhaka.
Fair enough. Hold on, Ken. Answer the question.
He had a decent game. He have a great goal, but you know what? And then he was levels better than Granit Xhaka today, mate.
Who?
The captain isn't your best player. Your captain's your leader on the pitch.
Hold on. I'm still not having the answer here. Who did you think would have been your captain?
Yeah, because
you say El Neni.
Everybody wants Ødegaard. You know, I'm from Norway, so Ødegaard everybody wants him as captain. I don't know why you guys want him as captain.
No, listen,
not for me, mate. Not for me.
No, hold on. Let's not twist the question. I said, if you didn't know who the captain was today, right? If you watch the game, who would you assume is the Arsenal captain?
Yeah, stop farting around the question, Ken. Answer it.
I can't remember. I was drunk, man.
I knew he was drunk.
Ken, man, that is poor.
He was away. It's cold out there.
You were drunk during the game, and now you've miraculously recovered to be on the show.
So who was captain? Was Ødegaard, right?
A very sobering question.
You're not answering the question. Right?
Jesus,
if you were watching the game,
I was watching the game. I just didn't pay attention to the fucking captain.
Right. Okay, fine. I didn't say Odegaard is the captain. I said if you were watching the game, right? Who would you have thought? Who did you think was the Arsenal captain if you didn't know Odegaard is wearing the armband?
And there wasn't
I know Granit Xhaka was probably the guy who was the captain.
I'm asking for your opinion, my friend. I'm not
slurring his words, bro.
Fair enough.
All right. Ken,
thank you very much. We have a great goal.
I much appreciate you giving us time, man.
You have to upgrade on this guy, man. Come on. I don't care about him.
You need to upgrade on your vodka, Ken.
All right. Well, listen. Ken, thank you very much for coming on. Much appreciate your time, man.
All right. Thank you for having me on, yeah?
All right.
And for those of you in your chat,
Brandon,
if you've got a problem, want to visit Alcoholics Anonymous, Google it.
Brandon,
anyway,
what would you say?
You can look at it two different ways, can't you?
No, I'm just after a name, Brandon.
No, you can look at it two different ways.
What?
You can look at a captain isn't defined necessarily by who talks the most on the pitch or who looks like they talk the most.
Like the leader.
Yeah, hang on. Just
God,
so there's two different ways of looking at this. Are we looking at a captain as in somebody who talked on the pitch or somebody who led by example by their performance?
Either, bro. Either.
Because if you're talking about somebody who led by example by their performance, then I would say Mohamed El Neni. If you're talking about a player who talked on the pitch the most, you'd probably have to say Granit Xhaka.
But either way,
again, I'm gonna sit here and say, do we have a true captain? Because if we did have a true captain, hang on. If we did have a true captain, your true captain is sitting there when we go 2-0 up and saying, right, now we keep it tight at the back. We don't allow Manchester United back in this game. So there you go. That's what I would say.
No. I love. Can I just see this comment from Arsenal Manic?
I agree with him. But the problem is we've got too many young defenders. So when we haven't got a leader in defence, that's the problem. We need to get a more experienced defender to play because Ben White's a kid, really, 23. Gabriel's 23. You need a defender there who's got that experience. Who, when you are 2-0 up, who can say keep it tight. Granit Xhaka's playing in midfield. Elneny's playing in midfield. They were doing their job really well in midfield, but unfortunately, the defence haven't got that leader there. They haven't got a Tony Adams type player, if you like. I know you don't find them anymore, but just a leader at the back who's got a little bit of experience who can say, look, for the next 5 minutes, the next 10 minutes, we don't concede anything. But we haven't got a leader there, have we, at the back to do that? Doesn't mean we haven't got a captain on the pitch, because Granit Xhaka is the captain on the pitch, 100%. He doesn't want to be captain because of all the other stuff he got before.
I mean, it's quite interesting. Nobody said Martin Odegaard, but anyway.
Well, again, I'm going to say I think he was brilliant today, Odegaard. I think he was brilliant against Chelsea as well. He was brilliant against Chelsea.
He's not a leader, though, is he? He's not a leader, Lev. He's not a leader. He's a good player.
Like Brandon said, you can lead in different ways. You can lead by example. You can lead by the way you play. I totally agree with that. And Odegaard, some of the passing from Odegaard brilliant.
Listen, people who wore this armband before, you're talking about Tony Adams, Patrick Vieira, Jens Lehmann, David Seaman, Ray Parlour, Martin Keown, Dennis Bergkamp, Thierry
You just done a Google search, did you?
No, I know this, right? And no disrespect, but Odegaard is nowhere near any of them in terms of leadership quality. Neither is
Norway international team seems to think so.
Yeah, man, listen, international games, we play like 5-6 games a year. It's not Premier League.
You've got to be a leader of your country, bro. You don't just get that handed to you.
No.
Is Xhaka not captain of Switzerland?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is. Listen, Xhaka, I'm not doubting that Xhaka has leadership abilities, but obviously the problem with Xhaka has always been the Premiership just seems to be that too quick for him. So
has he not been our most consistent player the last 2 seasons? Has he not been?
Yeah, really? Listen, I might not disagree with you on that, but at the same time, you cannot argue that at certain points he makes the same mistakes over and over again, and it's generally due to rash decisions made by the game being too fast for him. Brandon,
can I just add? I don't think it's also about his performance on the pitch with Granit Xhaka either. I don't think he's that much of a leader off the pitch either. If you're a captain, you cannot be coming out in interviews trying to justify that you told the fans to F off and justify that you've received X amount of red cards and yellow cards and you're not going to change the way that you play. So that's what I would say about Granit Xhaka as well. It's was that not the
right thing, though? Is he not saying the right thing? Why should he have to change the way he plays just because referees might give me... Like he said, he gets red and yellow cards because he's trying to win the ball, not because he's doing horrible things and doing nasty tackles and he's
but I took
being
that
aggressive.
A different way. I took that as in he's not willing to improve on his game so that he don't pick up them yellow and red cards. I'm not talking about him not making a tackle. Because of course we want to make a tackle.
That's what he gets all his cards for. Making a
Brandon,
tackle.
you can't deny though, if you make those sort of tackles and you know that you're judged differently, because I'll guarantee you again, every time it happens, that I tweet it out. If it was Xhaka, that tackle by Fernandes today. If that's Granit Xhaka, you as an Arsenal fan, you watch the VAR back, you're going.
Xhaka never tackles like that ever. He's never done that ever.
And there was another example of that. I think in the Chelsea game, someone did one of our players studs up and got nothing. Yeah. So like, maybe there's that thing as well, Brandon. That what he's trying to say is, well, if I keep doing that, I'm going to get sent off. So he can't do that anymore. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't want to change his game, so he's not going to change it. But then at the same time, if he does a tackle like that, we know he's off. But it is what it is. Sheen, an hour and 10 minutes, 15 minutes. What are you saying,
Let's
bro?
just ask guys. Richard, do you want to have a final word?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately today's a good result, but
yes,
we've just lost. We lost 3 games in a row against teams that we should have been picking up results against. So beating Man United, who we're off form anyway, and beating Chelsea, who had just come off a semi-final and gifted us goals, doesn't make up for those 3 defeats. It doesn't make the long-term picture. Is we're not here to compete. Somebody said yesterday, I heard, is Mikel Arteta the manager that we believe can take us to a Premier League title eventually? If we think he isn't, why are we sticking with him? Because we got rid of Arsene Wenger for finishing top 4 pretty much every single season, apart from his last season. Right, it wasn't good enough. That wasn't good enough for Arsenal. Now suddenly top 4 is this holy grail. That if Arteta gets top 4, he needs to be knighted and given a 25-year contract. Right, the top 4 is never good enough for Arsenal because we're Arsenal. We should be competing for titles. We should be challenging for honours. And at the moment, the club don't want that. The owners don't want it. It's not Arteta's fault. The owners don't want it. Right, Arteta is an average manager. He's a good coach. Right, but he's not the right man to take Arsenal to these great heights that we want to get back to. I don't want to piss around being top 4 for the next 20 years. I want us to start competing for titles. I want us to get a serious manager in who knows how to win. The mentality thing we mentioned before, right? It's been mentioned a lot. We don't have not one of that, and nobody at that club. The owners, the recruitment side, Edu, Vinay, Arteta, pretty much all of the players do not have a winning mentality, right? And people say, "Oh well, you know what? We don't want to be like Chelsea, change manager every year." Why? Why not? I want to be like Chelsea because Chelsea are challenging for honours every single season, winning big trophies. Why can't we have that ambition at our club anymore? Why have we lost that? Why?
Yeah, but don't we need to get to somewhere first, Richard? Don't we need to get to the next level first?
Why?
Don't we need to get to the next level first?
No. On the chat. We're at that level. We're
Mr.
at that
Canton.
level. We're at that level.
You know what? Tom, listen. No, to be fair to Richard, he's just having his final thought, but he was quite positive earlier on. He was happy with the result, and he just said a few things that I'm sure you would agree with as well. And it's a pleasure that you're here and watching us, Mr. Canton. By the way, I must admit.
That's Shaheen's fault, not mine, by the way.
Yeah, Richard, thank you very much for coming on, man. It's always nice to have you, as always. Look after yourself, and hopefully.
Hey, Richard, before you go, tell these guys where they can go and find you, and also you do the women's football as well, don't you, bro?
Yeah, we cover the women. I love the Arsenal women. They're having a great season as well. So it's over and over and over again on YouTube. We'll be covering the women's game tomorrow. I'm actually at the women's game next weekend as well. So that's going to be good. Great stuff. Yeah, we do cover the women because I think women's football deserves more coverage. It definitely does. It's great. It's improving and we need to get behind it. And someone's put in a comment there, which manager I want. I would personally go for Patrick Vieira, but that's just me. But there's plenty of managers available. We're Arsenal. Any manager can come to Arsenal. We're Arsenal, one of the biggest names in world football. Any manager worth their salts would want to take on this job because we've got a lot of positive things in place. We just need someone to take us to that next level. Arteta's not that man. The Cronkies aren't them people. Vinay's not the right man. And Ayedu's not the right man. We get the right people in, we can go places. But yeah, over and over and over again, we cover the Arsenal women. We do cover the Arsenal men. And I just want to see a successful Arsenal team. I don't really care who the man. I don't care about individuals. The club is more important than everybody else. Let's just have more. Let's get back to where we were. Every Arsenal fan needs to not settle for mediocrity. Don't settle for finishing top 6 or top 4. Don't settle for that. It's not good enough for Arsenal. Arsenal need to be. We need to demand the owners and demand who's running our club to take us back to the top. We've let Chelsea get ahead of us. We've let Man City get ahead of us. And if we're not careful, we're going to let Newcastle get ahead of us. Yes, they've got money. We've got money. As you said, we spent money. We spent it wrongly on the wrong people with the wrong base in place. Let's have a little bit more ambition for our great club. We're worth more than what we're getting, than what we've had for the last 10 years. We're worth more than that. And I don't care if we change manager every year till we get there. Let's do it. Let's get there. Why can't we be Man City? Why can't we be Liverpool? Liverpool they got a similar base to us where they came from when they got Klopp. They got a proper manager and they know that that's going to work. We've got a manager that's a rookie and people hope it's going to work.
Let's start with Northern Arsenal. Thank you very much for the longest final thought that you had.
Wait, why is it when everyone does a final thought, it goes?
I know. What is this?
We won today. We won today.
We did win. Come on, Arsenal.
Well done, Rich. Love you, man. And Brandon,
do you want to have a short final thoughts?
Richard is absolutely spot on, by the way. Unfortunately, he's part of the minority of the fan base, and that's why we won't get change. But as I said, happy with the result. Of course I am. I always want Arsenal to win, but you got to look at the long-term picture as well. And, the fact that we struggled to beat a Man United team that was in disarray today, it could all fall apart. It still could all fall apart. So I don't want to get too excited. I don't want Arsenal fans to get their hopes up like they always do, because knowing us, we could go and ruin it against Newcastle or Everton or something stupid like that. So what I would say is, if we get top 4 this season, it's been a good season, because I said at the beginning of the season that I expect that of Mikel Arteta after spending £250 million. And if we get it, it's a good season, and I'll give him a little bit more time. But our recruitment policy has to improve. There's loads of different areas within this football club that have to improve. And the mentality from the fan base is the main thing that has to improve as well. And just, as Richard just said, stop settling for mediocrity. That's what I would say.
Okay,
thank you. Hopefully Spurs lose later as well. I don't know what the score
come on
the
Brentford. Oi, and the big fight's on later on, yeah? Massive fight. White v Fury, yeah? Or Fury v White. Hope you lot are tuning in for that, because I will be.
Yeah,
and respect to you, Brandon. Oi, Jim King, yeah? Respect.
Can you send me a message on Twitter?
Yeah, of course, mate, yeah.
Yeah, send me a message, Arsenal Lounge.
Anything you want. Call him whatever you want. Send him a message.
Send me a message. I'd like to speak to you about something. Well, thank you for coming on, man. Much appreciated. Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah.
Later, Brandon.
Cheers.
Man.
Lev. Final thoughts?
We won today, and we still got bitching and moaning. I have to remind myself that we won. I have to remind myself that we won.
Why some were moaning, but some people have like valid points, man. You know, but they say some people like Richard and Brendan, they'll say, yeah, we won today, great, but these overall problems still exist. So
yeah, but you got to savor the moment. You got to savor the moment. We've just, if you were coming back from the ground, you'd be savoring that moment. Yes, it was an average Man United team, but at the same time, we just went 3 games back-to-back defeats, and we thought it was over. I thought it was over. I said it with my chest. We are out of the top 4. But a few changes, and the big thing for me, as I say, Arteta decided to put El Neni back in. He should have done that before. That's where his mistake was. It's probably cost us some points, but we're back in it. So, like, get behind the team. We're back in it. Hopefully, we get some players back. Tomiyasu looks like he's on his way back. We could go to Spurs, only needing a draw so that we could just get through and win those remaining games. So, get behind your team, guys, and watch the fight later on.
I was quite positive today. I gave Martin Odegaard, as Tom Canton will be pleased to hear that I have given Martin Odegaard his credit today. I said it was good. It was a good result. It was a good thing. He puts things back on our hand a little bit. Don't take the piss, Tom. And leave it out, Tom.
Nuno at the back, Eddie in attack. Wait, if Dan hears you singing them songs, yeah? Right, I'm going to tell Dan about them songs, because Dan is now the song police. You know that, right?
Anyway, listen, we need to get going. Don't forget to join us on Monday. Me, Lev, Mo, and Tom. We're going to discuss the Arsenal game and the top 4 chances, and where we go from there. Thank you very much to everybody who came on. Had they said thank you to everybody who were here and watched us. Please hit the like, subscribe to Arsenal Lounge.
Yeah.
Lev, anything you want to say?
Let us know in the comments who you got tonight. Is it Fury? Is it White? And also let us know, are we going to make top 4? What's your predictions now?
Did you know Dennis Bergkamp and Thierry Henry were on stadium today?
Were they?
Yeah, they were sitting next to each other.
Wow, massive game like that as well.
Yeah,
did you see Rio Ferdinand and Keown in the build-up?
Huh?
Keown and Rio Ferdinand in the build-up. Did you see that?
No, I was getting my laptop.
Oh my days! There was a bit where they always like all the pundits talk about Man United, no matter what game it is. We had the Arsenal game the other day, and it was Wayne Rooney and flipping Carragher in the studio. But today they were harping on about Man United for about 20 minutes or so, and then Keown said he said something like, "If you don't mind, we could talk about Arsenal for a second as well." And he says. But yeah, man, it was.
Look at this one, Tom. I'm going to get you for this on Monday. I'm going to leave this, and I'm going to get you on Monday. I was actually very supportive, very complimentary, should we say, of Martin Odegaard today. So
yeah, he wasn't complimentary about you though, Tom. He's been bitching about you for a few days now. But anyway, we see you on we'll see you on Monday, and come on, Fury. I'm in Fury's camp for this, yeah. So
come on, White. You can do this. See you guys later.
Take care. Later. Peace out. Come on, y'all.